All right, everyone. Welcome to our April 15th Tribe Redefine call. My recording secretary is reporting for duty tonight. I'm just joking. I'm going to start off with some recognition. I'm going to run through some of Ashley Laughlin's tips from Super Sunday, especially since some people weren't there. I'm going to be very brief. I'm just going to kind of give a very simple overview of it. And I'm also going to pass the mic over to Teresa, who's going to lead the bulk of the training for tonight and also take us through our action item. So a couple of reminders. Morning Meltdown 100 will be launching after Summit. The structure is really exciting, and what's going to be great is that they're 20 to 30-minute workouts, and it seems like it has a real community vibe. So, and the workout moves that they were showcasing looked really cool. So that is going to be great to get people back into shorter workouts. So it's going to have like an 80-day obsession, long-term feel with a Transform 20 short workout feel. It's going to be a nice marriage. So that's something to keep in mind. Start paying attention to the people who really need short workouts and make sure we're following up with them as that becomes closer. There's also going to be some specific challenge packs that are geared towards that program in particular, the Jericho pack being one of them, that are going to offer different configurations than we're used to with challenge packs, which is very exciting. And I'm sure you saw that they're going to be announcing a new nutritional product. So we were all guessing what that could be today. Hello, Melissa. And also, corporate's just doing a really neat, more intentional job of sharing their marketing strategies and the why behind. I'm starting to notice that now that Jeff Hill has stepped out. They've made more space for Caroline Green, who happened to be at our Super Sunday, but she was also a featured part of NLC. And I'm just seeing a lot more of the behind the scenes information about our company and everything that it projects. And not just the wellness aspects that we're able to help others with, but the reasoning behind it and understanding why we didn't have Vegan Recover for so long and why Shakeology is so expensive. And we're very transparent, and her voice, I think, is becoming clearer, and she's making a name for herself within the company as bringing all of that market research and the real integrity behind our products to the forefront, which is exciting because it gives us a chance. Think about those beauty counter ladies or those essential oils ladies. I mentioned, I'm like, oh, Kellen's sniffling, and all of a sudden like 90 people are messaging me about why this oil works for this and why their company's oil is the best. And I'm not saying we're going to be those kind of vultures, but to be able to understand really what sets us apart, not just our own experiences, but the science behind it and the research behind it and the reason they put such cost behind it has a lot to do with that. So it'll give us a lot of peace, I guess, in understanding those objections. So very quickly, now that I just gave my water to my dogs, of course, I'm super parched. Ashley, oh no, let me do recognition. I jumped ahead. First, we wanted to recognize some success point earners. Melissa, Leslie, and Jackie are all on the board with SC2, which is fabulous. Wanted to throw a shout out to newer coaches on Tribe Redefine, Dana and Kim, who purchased their Super Saturday tickets or Super Weekend tickets for Philly for July already. And someone just totally fell upstairs. And also wanted to shout out Jana for attending her first Super Weekend and really going outside her comfort zone there. You had a good time with Denny and it looked like a good time, but I mean, Joel was there. So,
Mommy?
Yeah.
Calm down.
A secret in this house.
Tell Daddy.
Tell him to go tell Daddy. That'll be fun. All right. So anyway, moving on to what I wanted to talk to you guys about, which were Ashley Laughlin's tips for success. She wanted to kind of give it to us straight and also motivate us at the same time. I feel like I wrote down 11 tips, which made no sense because she was giving us 10. So whatever. But remember, this is recording, so you don't have to scribble and write all this down. You can come replay my voice and Teresa's voice as many times as you want. Don't roll your eyes, Teresa. We love your voice. So here are Ashley's lessons in her many years as a coach. And she had a really come from the bottom, now I'm here story that I did not expect from her at all. Like practically orphaned and very terrible childhood, and she's really become a wonderful example and really normal seemingly person, not the blonde shaved heads and like you know, not that there's anything wrong with blondes, but like, you know, just the very picture perfect. She's built herself to be very normal, and it's just beautiful. Anyway, so number one reminder, very important, especially with all the products. It's so easy to get lost in this, that you are your brand. Beachbody is not your brand. So make sure you are promoting you. And one of the things she said that I thought was money was that amateurs hide behind products and labels. Pros speak for themselves. So once you find your voice and your niche, people are going to keep finding you, and you don't have to just use products to sell. Number two, although this is like 1B, don't try to emulate other coaches, just be you. We can all fall into those traps. I know it happens all the time where accidentally we're all posting very similar things because we've just talked about something and now we all go out there and like our posts look similar. There's a complete difference between that and me watching Melissa's story and the next day following exactly what she does. That's not cool. All right, number two. But it's not all about you nonetheless. So what she means is you have to remember that going out there and being honest is serving other people. So when we're sitting here telling our story, it's so that other people can relate to us and find themselves in us. What that also means is it opens us up to criticism from other people, to rolled eyes, to people who disagree with us. Those people don't pay your bills. You pay your bills. Their criticisms shouldn't stop you from paying your family's bills. So keep doing what you're doing. You are not doing this to promote yourself. If you were doing this to promote yourself, you would have quit a long time ago when you weren't getting all the likes and comments you expected. But you're doing this because you know it's helpful to others while keeping yourself accountable. That's awesome. And the people who roll their eyes, as she said, will be joining you one day. They're just not ready yet. Number three, don't limit your vision based on your current situation. If you have a dream, put it on your vision board. If you want to be elite, put it on your vision board. If you want to, you know, lose X number of pounds or help this number of people or do something in your personal life, regardless of where you stand right now and what past experience shows you, believe in it. It'll never happen if you don't believe in it. So where you are right now has nothing to do with where you can be. Number four, make your dreams come true so you can make others' dreams come true, which is what we try to do every day on here, and this community allows us to do that. Number five, figure it out. Google it, YouTube it. If you haven't noticed, I've been answering fewer questions in the accountability thread when I know that they're able to be answered somewhere else. And it's not to be mean and it's not to be rude. Most of it's just because I'm in class and so I can like read your text, but I can't respond. But it's also because we all have to be leaders. Whether we've been a coach for 2 minutes or we've been a coach for 2 years, we all have to be leaders. And we will never know the information if we don't know how to get it. And then we're going to be the ones having coaches asking us this question when we're trying to be sending invites or we're trying to lead our teams. So Google it, find it, figure it out. You don't know how to grow your social media following after Teresa's trading tonight? Google it. There's a YouTube on it. You don't know how to find something in Coach Office? There's a search bar in Coach Office. Type it in and see what comes out. And it's not tough love. It's not being rude. It's just owning your own ability to succeed in this business. And I know we're all in those moments. Now I'm on a soapbox, but we're all in those moments. You're in a heated conversation with someone and you need an answer quickly. Send them to us. That's fine. But you know, when we're in our power hours and doing our thing, it only helps you by finding answers yourself. It'll only help you because there'll never be answers again or questions again. All right. Number 6, do it no matter what. Action, enthusiasm. I think I missed part of this one, so I'm missing one of the points, but her whole point is that action and enthusiasm help carry us forward. So you just got to do it. You have to act. Radiate enthusiasm when you talk Beachbody. She said that her biggest motivator when she is talking to someone is Buddy the Elf from the movie Elf. She says the way he loves Christmas, the way he loves Santa, that's how much she loves Beachbody. And her enthusiasm is contagious and people start to feel that. And I just thought that was so cute. And to take massive action. She also recommended the 10X rule, which people have recommended a million times, and I have to read. And you're a badass at making money was one of her also recommendations. Sorry for cursing, Kaden. Number 7, when you kind of sort of try, you kind of sort of get results. In fitness, in nutrition, in business, in parenting, in marriage, in friendship, in fill in the blank, right? Number 8, confidence is a decision. And she said that comes from Brendan Burchard. And confidence is a decision and it only grows with action. It's like any other muscle. We have to flex it. The more we flex it, the more we own it. I know something, and I'm not saying this to be too confident, but I know people often, coaches will say to me that they don't feel as good on live video, or they don't feel as good training, and that it seems natural to me. It's only natural to me, and I've said this 100 times, I'm a broken record, because I talk to teenagers every day. I wouldn't be this confident in front of adults if I didn't do this on the regular basis. I have to keep the attention of 15-year-olds with cell phones in their hands. You know, like, I have to be a show woman, and I have to be engaging. But I didn't think I was the first day I started teaching. But it's been many years of doing this and figuring it out. So decide you're confident and just keep practicing, and you get better. Look at all of you on Instagram stories. You're adorable. So there's no reason you can't be on live video more, and there's no reason you can't be leading team calls, and just be confident and you'll be confident, right? All right, number 9, success doesn't come from developing your business. It comes from developing you. So personal development is key. Teresa pointed out this last week. It was brought up on the National Wake Up Call. It was brought up by Ashley yesterday as well. Your personal development is yours. So we can keep throwing out books we're reading, and we can keep throwing out recommendations, but you have to read what resonates with you. You have to listen to what resonates with you. And I loved what Ashley said too, that if a book isn't flying with her, she throws it, like she's done. And I'm like that. And as an English teacher, I get like laughed at a lot. It's not laughed at. People aren't that cruel. But you know what I mean? That if I'm reading a novel and I don't like it, I have no allegiance to it. There are more books in the world than I will ever read. It's done. So the same for your personal development. If that podcast ain't flying, turn it off. Don't waste your time. There's more things. You'll find what works for you. But don't skip it. Find what works. And number 10, believe in abundance, not in scarcity. Always believe there's more. Like she talked about holding Success Club points once you hit Success Club so that you will hit Success Club the next month. You know, not signing coaches right now because next month's Team Cup and you want to get those points, or waiting till the beginning of the month when there's going to be a training so that you can bring in those people. Don't wait. Always believe there's always going to be more, and then there will be more. And I know a lot of us have gotten into that trap. We get into the scarcity. Thank you, ma'am. I could use some of that as well. So I just didn't think those could wait. They're freaking awesome tips. And I'm done, Teresa. I'm just trying to read the chat. So I'm going to mute me because I've got a friend, and you can take us through. She's also going to take us through the action item, which I think I said already, but I'm pumped. Take it away.
All right, here we go. Okay. So my whole map out of what we were going to do tonight completely fell through, because if you guys didn't know, Captivate and Cleaner is no longer really an option for us. So that was what my training was going to be on. So bear with me as I kind of put this together. And I was trying to think of, okay, what can we do to grow our Instagram without those tools? So this is what I came up with. And I asked if you guys can come with your color wheel already filled out, because we're going to be using that. And that is basically like who you are. So we're going to be using those hashtags in most of your posts to really pull in everybody who is you, who you relate to, and who will relate to you. And also, I have written down trending now hashtags. And I'll explain a little bit about that, but what people are talking about today. So if you're doing a post, and this just came to me today as I was doing this, like Easter's coming up. So like you want to use those hashtags because that's what people are using right now. And that is what people are hashtagging. So you're going to get those active followers who are actually using those hashtags right now. Holidays, events, days of the week. We all do Motivation Monday. Other people are using those hashtags too. Transformation Tuesday, people are using those. So just think about those, like TGIF. If you're using that hashtag on Fridays, other people are using that too on Friday. So that will draw in that attraction from those hashtags. All right, so how to find local events, which I brought up for those hashtags. I would use Facebook for that while we're really focusing on Instagram. If you go into your Facebook page and you go into events, lots of things that are local will be popping up. and you can go into those and then move that over to hashtags in your Instagram. I haven't personally done this yet, but I thought it was a good idea. And I think if you kind of use those things that you can find local, probably easier on Facebook, those events automatically pop up, that you can use them in your hashtags over on Instagram. Everybody knows how to find that, I'm assuming, your events on Facebook. Okay. Now we're going to talk about adding followers through those hashtags. And like I said, since we can't use Captivate or Cleaner anymore, this is really going to be something that we're going to have to work on and be consistent with, so that we're growing these followers and on a more consistent level, since it's not doing it for us automatically. I would suggest possibly doing a reminder on your phone every hour, because you can grow 50 per hour. I'm going to talk about an easy way to not spend a lot of time doing that each hour, but how to put everything in one spot, so you can go in maybe for like 5 minutes every hour and just follow. Hopefully something else comes out until then, but this is what I came up with until then. All right, so you're going to take your hashtags. So if you're in Instagram, and we're going to do action items on this later, but if we take those hashtags that are relatable to you from your color wheel, from the trending hashtags, and you go into Instagram, you're going to search those things. And then once you find that, you're going to find a relatable post or photo that you relate to. And then you're going to make a collection out of that. We already do collection for people. So I think if you do a collection for hashtags, it's all going to be in one place. And then every hour, when your reminder goes off, you can go in and you have one spot already with all of these things loaded. And you can just go in and follow. I would say it probably will take like 5 minutes, maybe 10. But I just thought that might be the easiest way to have everything already loaded in a spot. And then you can just go in and do that. So however it works for you, or if you take a longer amount of time, maybe twice a day, whatever works best for you, but that's kind of what I came up with for that. I think for unfollowing, since we don't have Cleaner to use that, I mean, I would do the same thing. However, each hour or a couple times a day is to go in, because our goal is to have more that are following you than we're following. So I know I have to work on that, because my following is way bigger than my followers. So since we don't have that automatic cleaning going on, we're going to have to go in and do that ourselves. I would suggest scrolling all the way to the bottom. Most of those people at the very bottom are going to be like your friends, your family, people that you do interact with. But then I would go right up above there and just go from the bottom up and just unfollow. Sometimes we do contests and we're like following hashtags, and sometimes that's not something that we necessarily want to be following. So you want to make sure you unfollow those. You know, sometimes it's like they're doing a giveaway, so we're automatically like following those people. And so unfollow them because they're not adding to your business. So just make sure anybody that you're following, and you want to unfollow those people that are not adding any value to you growing your business. All right. And that you can only do like 50 an hour as well. I'm not sure if it's 50 of each, or if we would have to alternate that. I don't know the answer to that, actually. So I will Google that. All right. So before you actually do all of that, I think it's so important that you have your page that people are going to be attracted to. And your people are going to be attracted to you because you're like them. So I think when you go to a page, just like we're doing with them, I mean, if you think about it, I don't want to say we're judging, but we're looking at someone's photo, and that's how we choose whether we're liking them, like following them or not. So they're coming to our page and they are looking at our page for like 2 seconds. So we have that snapshot for them to look at. So before we start adding all those people, we need to make sure that who we are is on our page, not Beachbody. And that's exactly what Ashley just said, that Pam just reiterated, that that is like our storefront, like you're window shopping, like you're going in a mall and you're walking by, you're not going to go in the store unless you see something in the window that you like. Okay, so just make sure that whatever you're hashtagging is what is on your storefront. All right. I already said that. Okay. All right, so now your people have found you. Now we're gonna start engaging and building a trusting relationship and making friends. And that's exactly how you wanna approach this. You don't wanna go into it looking for a sale. You wanna look at it as making friends. Just like you're walking down the street and you see somebody that you like, you will not just be like, hey, I'm a Beachbody coach and I do health and fitness, and do you want to join my group? And they'd be like, what the heck are you talking about? I don't even know who you are. So this is where I have really started engaging with them and just getting to know them personally and having more sentences of conversation than just likes and like, oh, hey, your dog's cute. You know, like you're interacting with them to engage with them of things that you have the common interest in, okay? Because it's going to be very authentic and it's not going to sound like a sales pitch. And then how we should go about, I think, reaching out to them is definitely through their stories, because as our page is our storefront, the stories is what like showcases who we are. And we have to remember that when we're doing our stories, is to share who we are. Yes, we work out. Yes, we do our shakes. And I know I have to get a lot better than that, like at this, because I don't like lead this, I don't know, this wonderful life where I'm doing all of these things all the time, but that's who I am. So we really have to showcase those things, okay? So as we are going into their stories and finding out about them, they're doing the same with us. So we just have to make sure that we're being authentic, and what we are we're drawing them in for that, like of who we are. We need to showcase that in our stories. Let's see, sorry. And then through the stories is really how we're going to be able to engage with them and start those conversations that we talked about. And we're going to be looking for possibly something that they need a solution for. And I'm not talking about Beachbody. I'm not talking about like they want to find fitness, but maybe you can tell that they're looking for like a prom dress for their daughter. Okay, only because I'm going through that with mine. So they're looking for a prom dress. So I'll be using that hashtag, like alterations and prom dresses and different stores that we're gonna be looking at. But maybe they're looking for that and they're like, well, this is not like acceptable, you know, talking about those things. And that's what you're gonna talk about, right? Because that's something that you're hashtagging, that's something that is relatable to you. And you want to find a solution. You can either say, oh my gosh, I found this dress at blah, blah, blah. Or you can say, I'm having the same exact problem. Maybe we can help each other out. Does that make sense? So that's something that either you can help find a solution for, or you can be working on it together with them and really build that relationship. All right. So other ideas I would say I tried to think about who was on the call and on our team. Cooking, so maybe someone needs help with cooking. So maybe like Nicole is amazing at this and she can share these recipes with them, or what works with her, or oh my gosh, this gadget from Pampered Chef I absolutely love, maybe you would like it too. Organization, just what you do, maybe one little tip that you could give, or maybe they're organizing and you're like, how do you do that and how do you make that fit into your life? fashion, kids activities, how to deal with teen life, someone's learning how to drive, like just those types of things, gardening, lawn care. I know Leslie had really great response with somebody that saw something that she did and somebody reached out to her. So those are things that you're using those hashtags, you're connecting, and then you're problem solving together. How to tackle work life and mom life. So that's a huge one. And then I think that's it for that. And just remember that we're making friends, not a sale. I think that was the biggest thing that I would take away from that. Okay, any questions for that? I'm gonna go into action. I'm like to the point and then move on, so. All right, I hope that was helpful, but that's kind of what I came up with. Hopefully it works. All right, so everybody has their color wheel. Okay, so one suggestion I'm gonna say with my color wheel is black and white, it's not even colorful. One thing, I did this with Jana, and I think it's a really cool thing to do. I think you filled out your color wheel. I really think it's important that maybe you find somebody else who knows you really well. If it's a spouse, if it's a friend or a coworker that you get along with, give them a blank color wheel and have them fill it out. I say this not because you want to know what they think of you, because that shouldn't matter, but sometimes we don't see a lot of the qualities that we have in ourselves that other people see and maybe we don't believe in, and maybe that will be a helpful tool for you. Does that make sense? Okay. I really want to do that. I haven't done it yet, but I just think it's really important to have people do that. And I know Pam did that this weekend with the succulents and had people, I know Jana reached out to people and got words, and it was really neat to see what other people think of you in that way.
Because I literally was typing, look at your succulent when you said that. And
oh, really?
Yeah, look at the chat.
Well,
sorry.
Yeah, I mean, you look at those words, if people write those words about you and you don't really think of that of yourself, but other people see that in you, I think that speaks volumes. So I would really encourage you all to do that and just have somebody else that knows you fill out your color wheel for you and see if there's anything different on there, or if it's all the same, then you know yourself really well. Okay. And then I also said to come up with a list of local hashtags, like local stores, local community events, things that are going on local, okay? Because this is going to be a really good connection for you, because there's so many people out there. I know we always talk about, well, there's not enough people out there. There's so many Beachbody coaches. And I think if you stick to local, you're going to find more of your people. There's definitely outsource from way out, like wherever, but I think it's nice sometimes to start local and maybe you feel a better connection with people and you have more in common. All right, so, okay, so what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna take your color wheel and I want you to choose one word, go on your Instagram. We're gonna do everything on Instagram. And we're going to hashtag that word. But I'm sure your word is very generic. So for me, you all know I love peanut butter. So my favorite right now is Trader Joe's organic creamy peanut butter. Okay. So you need to be specific so that way it's not this big, broad thing. You're going to try and be more specific to somebody who likes specifically what you like. So we're gonna go in, you're gonna do whatever that is. I'm gonna do the peanut butter.
So wait, sorry, can you explain, how are we picking a hashtag? Just anything
from your color wheel.
Oh.
Yep, you're gonna choose just one thing. For this one is our color wheel. So you're gonna choose one thing that you have written down on your color wheel. And like if you have Target, you wanna be specific about Target, okay? You're gonna hashtag that, so let's see. I need to do mine. Does everybody have that? All right. Okay, so if you're on that, go find one of the pictures that jumps out to you. Make sure there's pretty many likes on there. Okay. Do we all have that? Okay. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take that picture, and you see the little ribbon, how you add to collections? You're gonna click on that little ribbon down on the right-hand side below the picture, and then it's gonna say Save to Collection. You're gonna click on Save to Collection. You're gonna create a new one if you don't have it already, and just do a hashtag. So this is where we're gonna go in, and we're going to be, I mean, you're gonna do this for, you can do this for everything on your color wheel at some point, but just to give you an idea, we're gonna add to that collection so that each hour you can go into that, and that's how you're gonna find, you're gonna go in and follow, 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 follow. Does that make sense? Everybody's good with that? Okay. So create the collection hashtag, make sure that photo is in there, because then you're gonna go into that photo. You're gonna see, click on the likes of that photo, and you're just gonna scroll down and find your people. And then you're gonna follow them. So once you get a big collection of these hashtags in that collection, it'll be easy for you to go in each hour and just follow, follow, follow. Okay. So you can go in, and if you have 10 people that you can follow, go ahead and do that. These people all like a big giant spoonful of peanut butter, because that's the photo that I chose. And then I'll also suggest that when you're doing your story or your post, soon after you're doing this, you want to make sure you hashtag that, because you're following them and they're going to notice that you're following them. So they're going to be drawn to your page or your story. So you want to captivate, like you want to get them right then and there. So make sure after you follow them, you somehow incorporate that. So like, I'm going to have peanut butter at some point, probably all day tomorrow. So I'm going to make sure that I use that hashtag so that person will hopefully see that and be drawn to my page. Okay. A couple more. Everybody's still working, or are we almost done? And you might have to play around with that just to get more. I mean, you might want to find like maybe a little less specific so that there's more likes on it. But we'll have to play around with that. I really just tried to come up with all of this today. Okay. All right. Everybody good? Okay. So definitely go around your wheel and play around with that, experiment, add to your collection, and get your people in your collection there. Okay, next, take your list, if you came with your list of your local things. So I have written down, only because I went to my events on Facebook and I saw that the Chick-fil-A in Carlisle was doing an Easter bunny photo shoot, and they're also doing a free breakfast tomorrow. Okay, so I took something from events and I will be hashtagging that, and we're going to do the same exact thing that we just did for our color wheel, but I would like for you to take 4 of those hashtags that you came with, of a local restaurant, a local store, a local event that's going on, a farmer's market. Also, it's springtime. There's a lot of like ice cream places and different like amusement parks that are going to be opening up, and people are going to be looking into that right now. And this is where this is going to change, like different seasons or different holidays or different events that are coming up. So you want to make sure that you're like trending now. Like you have to be up with what is going on right now, because that's what people are hashtagging and searching for. So like I live by Hershey Park, so I would be doing Hershey Park because springtime in the park is opening up. I also mentioned prom dress shopping. So I'm going to look up different local prom dress places here because a lot of people are looking for prom dresses. You can do hairstylists, salons. Salons are great places to find people. I've found a lot of people that way. So look up local salons. Farmers market is going to be huge this time of year. They're opening up. They also do a lot of events. So I know our local one is called Paulus's Farm Market, and they do events all the time, spring and summer and fall. So I know now until the end of fall, I'm going to be doing a lot with them, and I'm going to look up what their events are, and I'm going to use those hashtags to find people that way. Okay. So find 4 of those hashtags, find a picture or a post that you can relate to, and add that to your hashtag collection on Instagram. So like for me, I'll say Hershey Park. If you have an amusement park by you, you can look up Hershey Park, but definitely look up, if you click on that middle one, it's your more recent post. So you could be finding ones that relate to you, but you also want to make sure that it's recent and it's not a lot of people from, or a lot of posts from like a year or 2 ago. So you want to make sure it's a more recent post because that's what people are looking at. So just make sure you save these to your collection of hashtags that you have. Ooh, Hershey Park Camping Resort. Well, I don't really camp, so I'm not going to do that one. I was like, oh, that would be a good one, but I would have nothing to talk about. I like a hotel room.
I like a bathroom.
Yeah. You like to stay in a bathroom or you like to have a bathroom?
I just want a place where there's a bathroom inside of my space. Walk to in the middle of the night. I pee too much.
I know I'm going to look up, there's a local, it's called Oak Grove Farms, but I also know that like June, I guess, is like strawberry season. So think about those things. Like strawberry season is like really a short time frame, but those are more specific things that you can look at and follow at that time of the year. And you can talk about, oh my gosh, I'm going to go strawberry picking, and maybe take your kids strawberry picking, and then you will story about that or do a post or both, and you'll hashtag that and people will see that, and then you'll be like, oh, I see that you went there too, so did I, and then you'll start a conversation that way. Leslie, this is right up your alley. It's all about planting, flowers.
I'm looking up people that mow their lawn. Yeah.
I was looking at a local farm, like you said, we were talking about, I don't know what you said, Hershey's, and I went to Johnson's Farm, which is a farm near us that has like hay rides and egg hunts and stuff. So and I'm like looking through their top posts, and it's one of my girlfriend's kids. Nicole's the one that called me a bitch in that picture, the one that voted. It's her daughter. I'm like, that's Quinn.
Oh my gosh.
Excuse me? I'll explain.
Another thing I'll say is if you have kids in school, I think most of the schools do like May fairs, or a lot of moms right now are looking up summer camps and activities for their kids. The pool's going to be opening. There's just so many different things. I'll try and give you a couple ideas then. But what I want you to do is do the 4 if you haven't already. Add them to your collection. Go in and like 10 of each of those, and that will bring you to your 50 for this hour. Okay. And then definitely just keep up with adding. And even when you're scrolling through Instagram, if you see something that catches your eye, just save it in your collection. If you see a quote that you like, save it to your collection, and then you can go back in and find the ones that relate to you and follow. Okay. All right. Hi, Violetta. I'm going to move on to the next one because it's like 9:42 already. Okay, so I have just a few ideas and then I have homework. So ideas that are coming up is Earth Day. So recycling, if you're into that, local nurseries. Cinco de Mayo is coming up. Everybody loves tacos, so and Mexican, so you want to like make sure you're using that. Mother's Day is a great opportunity. Florists, edible arrangements, jewelry stores, different things like that. Armed Forces Day and Memorial Day are coming up, so check those local events and connect with people. Also look at those fun holidays that are like, I know the 26th is Pretzel Day. You probably all have like a Philly pretzel place, and they are going to be doing a free giveaway. People love that stuff. If you're doing a free group of any sort, those are people too that you can be like, oh, I'm doing this free group, or oh, you can go to the pretzel store and get a free pretzel and post about that and have that connection too. So just different things. Take your child to work day. If that's something that you do and you hashtag that and you're following somebody that's doing that, that's a great way to connect too. Wear your PJs to work day is tomorrow if you didn't know that. All right, so your homework is for tomorrow, if everybody wants to create a post from something trending now using the hashtag or tags that is something trending now. Like today was income tax day. I totally waited to the last minute to make sure that my kids did it, even though I reminded them. But we did it today, so I hashtagged that all over the place. So whatever is trending now, or whatever event is going on, if you can somehow do some type of a post, like tomorrow is Transformation Tuesday. So one idea could be Easter. You can either do Easter when your kids were little to now and just do the comparison with that. Or you could do maybe when you were little at Easter time and do a tradition of Easter egg hunts, like just some ideas to hashtag that since Easter is coming up. So do a post, make sure you use those hashtags, use your regular hashtags, and then add those trending hashtags to go with your post. Okay. Tomorrow's Taco Tuesday, so that could be an idea. Everybody loves those. All right. I think that is all I have. I hope that was helpful, and I'm anxious to see if this works for myself too, since the way that we have been doing it is no longer available. I'm glad
awesome.
to do the training and then find out.
I didn't even think to look at events.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you can only use that for a short time, you know, until the next event. But just kind of keeping up with that stuff, you'll be able to, like, maybe there's a fun event in your hometown that you want to go to as well. And when you're hashtagging that, you're connecting with those people. So, yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. Is he barricading it?
I can't open it.
All right, I'm done, Pam. So I don't know if you want to.
I'll close it out. Thanks, everybody. I just would like to recognize Jackie for wearing her All Smiles shirt. No more RBF.
Oh, no, I'm still going to wear the RBF. I just have to have this so people know I'm happy.
You just want to show us your boobs.
Mm.
I should have stopped recording. Sorry.
I don't care.
Awesome, Teresa. That was perfect. That was so great. Yay. Good job, everybody. Love you all. Let's do what Teresa said and share some sort of post tonight, even if it's a story or something. And look at all these girls staying up for the call.
You
Lick
made
it.
me.
Oh, I didn't. Well, because I needed. She was having a little meltdown, and I needed to.
I want to see the light.
Okay, we'll talk about that later. All right, everybody, have a grand old day. Thank you, Teresa. That was perfect. That was ideal. And we're getting up at the butt crack of dawn. Like there won't even be dawn. So
I think we should just pull it all nighter.
yeah, we should. We should just every hour just add 50 people and then work out and be dead tomorrow. All right, love you guys.
Thinking of you, Leslie, tomorrow, Sam surgery.
Thank you.
You brighten